We're Cheryl and Paul Shard and have been sailing and living aboard for 30 years now. Last time on Distant Shores, we left Rudy Inlet in Virginia and sailed around Cape Hatteras and Cape Lookout, dealt with a fuel system problem that shut down our engine for the whole passage, and arrived at Beaufort in a gale with gusts near 40 knots. This time we're continuing further south, sailing offshore from North Carolina towards Florida and the Bahamas.
Very exciting. We're heading out from Beaufort, heading south. It's a pretty nice day. It's just a few days before the middle of November, which is our hurricane deadline. We can't be south of 30.5 north before the 15th of November. So we're heading down south near to that. We'll do probably 1 or 2 days overnight. And then got a nice day for this. Bit of motoring today, I think. Nice change after that windy day yesterday.
Forecast winds for this leg are light and variable. Purple is calm, blue is 5, and 10 knots is green on this weather map. We'll likely be motoring from 10 to 30 miles off the coast of the Carolinas and Georgia before making landfall in Florida, total 350 miles.
We left Beaufort, North Carolina this morning at 9:30, and we're heading to Cape Fear. That's our waypoint for this evening. And then carrying on right down to Jacksonville, Florida. So we'll be at sea for a couple of nights. We've got a beautiful night with a nice big moon, so we'll have light through the evening. And it's very calm, and we're very happy that the motor is working again. And looking forward to good night watches.
It's a nice, pretty night. Full moon tonight, so the biggest tides. We're also looking at the currents around here. We're using Predict Wind to download satellite data. This is a current model showing where the Gulf Stream is. We're heading down the offshore on the east coast of the US. And further down in Florida, the area where you can go gets much narrower as there's not a lot of room between the coast and where the current runs. But a little further up north and all the way to the Carolinas, the current tends to run further offshore. It still moves around a lot, so we like to see the up-to-date data, and you might even be able to catch a lift from back eddies in the current.
It takes us 2 days to get to Florida, and then we're in the mouth of the St. Johns River, passing the Mayport Naval Station, the third largest naval base in the USA, accommodating large ships right up to aircraft carriers.
There's a lot of current in the river, and now it's ebbing. More than 3 knots of current, slowing us down to just 4 knots over the ground, although we're motoring at 7.5. The river is being dredged as part of a project to allow deeper ships to get to the container port. It used to allow 40-foot draft. The new goal is to allow ships that are 47 feet deep to get up the river. Wow! Jacksonville Bridge has to open up for us. This is Main Street. I always feel bad stopping traffic.
The bridge has a 40-foot vertical clearance when closed, but can be increased to 135 feet when the span is raised to its highest position. The bridge tender lifts it just enough for our 71-foot mast to clear, and so road traffic is not held up longer than necessary.
So what's next is a fixed bridge, and it's right beside a railway bridge, so we do both at the same time. And the fixed bridge span is 75 feet, and we're 71'6" at high tide, and it's currently high tide. So that means we have a clearance of about that much on top of our mast. We go through here. Always looks like you're going to hit it. To prepare for the Bahamas, we've snagged a slip at the lovely Ortega Landing Marina in Jacksonville and get down to work on boat projects. I ask the marina operations manager if I can borrow a tool to make the mount for my new fuel filter. You here, Bill? Look at this place. This is a cute little shop. The maintenance manager here, I came and asked him for a bit of advice, and we were talking about some parts and stuff. I think he's gone home, but look at this. So there's some Florida hospitality for you. We've only been here a day and a half. I've been really impressed with how super friendly everybody is, and we've had so much help. So this project will get finished. Just gonna, this bit of wood, mounting a new Raycor filter on top of it. These filters are really great. Using Bill's tools, I've shaped this wooden mount and drilled and installed mounting bolts behind, then bonded it in using 3M 5200. That's not going anywhere. Our new filter is the Raycor 500. We've used this on all previous boats as our primary fuel filter, removing any water, sediment, and particles in the fuel down to 10 microns. The bowl collects debris and water, and the vacuum gauge detects when the filter is getting clogged. That should stop any dirt from getting into the engine, but I decide to open up the tank and use the inspection port to check inside. In the USA, where we bought this fuel, the Environmental Protection Agency mandates the use of red dye to identify diesel fuel meant for off-road use, such as yacht fuel. Inside it looks quite clear with no sign of dirt in the fuel, except perhaps a few distinct bits lying on the bottom, possibly construction debris. At our next opportunity, I will rig something up and try to vacuum the bits from under the fuel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Yes, thank you.
We're off to sea, huh?
Yes, we're about to sail to the Bahamas. We had 3 grocery carts full of goods, not just for this 1 week, but for most of the fall too.
Mostly wine from the look of it. Underway from Florida.
Oh, it's so warm here.
Yeah, sunny Florida.
Off to the Bahamas.
Strong north winds have set up a current in our favor as we head down the coast before the Gulf Stream reestablishes itself as we pass Cape Canaveral. Then we will head directly across the stream to minimize the time in the current sweeping us north. It'll be a 2-night passage. Here we go, welcome to the Bahamas. We're just getting up to West End on Freeport. We haven't been in here for 30 years. Yikes. What's the news, Sheriff?
So I just called Old Bahama Bay Marina. They are open for clearance, customs and immigration, and they have a slip for us for the night. Stand by.
All of our islands are so beautiful, and even with the devastation of primarily mostly the Marsh Harbor area and a few of the neighboring areas, there are still some choices in the Outer Coast that you can still visit. However, with the alternative for that, because there are still so many beautiful islands, including West End here on Grand Bahama.
But weren't they hurt by the storm too?
No, we were able to salvage basically everything that we did experience in a very short time and be ready to open for November 1st. As a matter of fact, this very week, the 22nd, we're happy to be hosting a Wahoo tournament that will bring us 47 boats and about 170 people.
Oh, great.
So we're really looking forward to getting back on the, what they call it, the swing again, and just reliving everything that we've done in the past.
We love the Bahamas, and we're glad to hear you guys are doing well here.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you were here during the days of Jack Tar, which takes us back quite a bit, and to have you still returning to us, it sends a definite message of something being done right. So just know, we continue to be the ambassadors for our beautiful islands here throughout, and it's a pleasure hosting you today.
Join us next time as we explore the remote Berry Islands, then cross the Yellow Banks on the way to the Exumas. Thanks for watching. Your views, likes, comments, and shares help us a lot. If you'd like more in-depth information and consultation, we invite you to check out the Distant Shores Cruising Club. Membership includes early access to videos, member-only Q&As, live chats, meetups, sailing opportunities, and many other benefits to help you prepare for your own adventure. Thanks again for your support. See you on the water.